Come on.
It's a blast from the coaching past for these Ole Miss fans. A decade after Coach O fell flat as their head man, he now returns to Ole Miss, leading their bitter rivals.
Let's go!
LSU has bounced back in recent weeks, but tonight they face one of the very best passing attacks in the country. Quarterback Shae Patterson is revving up the Rebels. It's been an up, down, and back up again season here in Oxford. But when it comes to primetime parties, the Grove is still undefeated. Hemingway Stadium here in Oxford, Mississippi. Number 24 LSU with those back-to-back SEC wins they're coming off of, taking on the Ole Miss Rebels. As we say good evening, always a great atmosphere for prime time in Oxford. Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge. We'll say hello to Holly Rowe in just a moment. Both these teams have made mid-season corrections because both these teams were in a troubling place. LSU the back-to-back wins, and Ole Miss getting that up-tempo offense back.
Well, they hit rock bottom, both of these teams. For Ole Miss, it was the midst of a 3-game losing streak, but somewhere in there, the second half of the Auburn game, they started to come alive, and it really was the leading of their quarterback, the sophomore Shae Patterson, the gunslinger. Their offense really took off. Last week, they set season highs for points and yards. For LSU, their bottom was a devastating loss at home to Troy. But since that time, 2 wins against SEC opponents, and their defense led the way. And what's happened with their defense in the fourth quarter of those 2 wins, unbelievable. They held Florida and Auburn to no points, a total of 74 yards, and only 3 first downs. That is suffocating defense, and that's what's led the turnaround for LSU.
And makes for a good matchup here. That defense against this offense that went for over 600 yards last week against Vandy. The Magnolia Bowl rivalry matchup is brought to you by Wendy's, a matchup that's included a few of college football's most memorable moments through the years. Billy Cannon's Halloween run and the night when time stood still in '72 and the home team has won the last 5. Ole Miss won the toss and they have decided to receive. '106th meeting. Started playing back in 1894. Cameron Gamble will be kicking away for LSU, and Jalen Jones, who has 1 kickoff return touchdown this year, back for the Rebs. Let's go down to the field and say good evening to Holly.
Well, I understand why Ole Miss wants the ball on offense. That's because the last 2 games, their offense has finally got it rolling. They are faster and playing with more tempo and pace. They're averaging about 15 more plays per game in their last 2. And Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator, said, you know, early in the season, I was over on the sideline, winding my fingers, get it going, get it going. He said the last 2 games, it's the players on the field telling me, get it going, get it going. That tempo should wear out defenses and have some effect as they finally have found a rhythm this season.
Longo in his first year as the play caller here at Ole Miss. Shae Patterson and Jordan Wilkins making up that backfield to get the night started. Here is Patterson. Plenty of time as it was incomplete. He was looking for A.J. Brown, who has been quite the force. Patterson himself is coming off a 351-yard 4-touchdown performance against Vandy.
He has thrown the ball well and for a lot of yards all season, but the last 2 weeks he's taken care of the football, and he is the guy pushing the tempo.
Wilkins finds a nice crease.
I think this has been a big addition to the Ole Miss offense the last 2 games, is their running game, which was struggling when we saw them against Alabama, has kind of kicked it into gear, and Jordan Wilkins at 100% is a big part of that.
3rd and less than 1. Quick throw and incomplete as Brown couldn't hold on 3rd and short.
That's the hardest play that LSU will have to defend tonight. The play action with the RPO quick slant. This should have been a completion for an easy first down. The normally reliable A.J. Brown just couldn't hold on to it. That's a hard pass route to cover in man-to-man.
That guy is dangerous. DJ Chark. 2 punt return touchdowns on the year. Here's the Aussie Gleason with the rugby-style punt. That takes a very good roll down to the 10 for Ole Miss. 56-yard punt from Gleason. And Danny Etling, the senior from Indiana. Of course, he started his career at Purdue. Now 12-5 as the starter for LSU. And the comeback win against Auburn last week, and he was at his best when they needed him most on 3rd downs. He was 7 of 12 against Auburn.
Well, I really think Danny Etling has done a nice job managing this offense, and what LSU wants to see tonight is a healthy Darius Geis, their best player, who has been bothered by a knee injury all season. They think he's the healthiest he's been, and right now, here he is.
There he is in motion, and they will give him the ball on that jet motion, and it works out well as right away Geis picks up a 1st down.
The jet sweep has been the biggest run play for LSU.
Defense number 40, penalties decline. Play results in a 1st down.
More of their big running plays have actually come from wide receivers. That time they put Darius Geis in a wide receiver position and gave him the football, but that jet sweep has been very effective.
See the chunk plays for LSU this year. 5 plays of 20-plus yards from the receivers, only 4 from the backs. Here's Geis again, and he looks healthier, doesn't he, Todd?
Yeah, he sure does. I mean, when he is healthy, he's as good a running back as there is in college football. This is power downhill football by LSU. If there's one area that Ole Miss has struggled with this season, it's stopping the run against powerful teams. Alabama ran for over 350 yards against them. Auburn ran for 326 yards. And that's where LSU is going to challenge them.
2nd and 1. Quickly to Darrell Williams. Well blocked, and Darrell Williams past midfield. It's a dash down the sideline. Big chunk play from Darrell Williams as Woods finally tracked him down. 63 yards there.
Well, really bad angle by Jalen Jones. Watch the safety, 31. He's going to be unblocked, and he's going to take a bad angle to Darrell Williams. Right there, he misses the tackle, and LSU with a big play from their tailback on an easy pass down the sidelines. LSU playing with both of their starting tailbacks in the game together. This is what Matt Canada wanted to do all year.
That is Geis circling back in motion. This is Williams, tackled for a loss that time by DeMarcus Gates.
DeMarcus Gates is their leading tackler. And the area where they have excelled this year is negative plays, the sacks and the tackles for loss. They're not big and physical enough to really hold up against power running teams, but their speed and quickness does allow them to make some plays behind the line of scrimmage, and that was a nice play by their leader, Gates.
Geis and Williams remain in together here on 2nd and goal.
Geis is a very good receiver out of the backfield as well. Coming into the game, 5 receptions, but he's got really good hands.
Geis, he's met at the 5-yard line by Breland Speaks.
One of the areas that LSU has had problems with this year is their offensive line. They've had injuries, they've had changes, and tonight they've got a true freshman starting at left tackle, a true freshman starting at right guard. And right now a very difficult 3rd down situation.
The senior starting left tackle K.J. Malone, the son of the NBA all-time great Karl Malone, injured, out of action. 3rd and goal. Etling extending the play, and he is forced down, pushed all the way back by Marquise Haynes, number 1 in career sacks here at Ole Miss.
Well, the play was made by Breland Speaks, number 9. Watch number 9 collapse the pocket. He's going to get pressure and force Etling out, and then Marquise Haynes is going to knock him out of bounds, but Speaks collapsed the pocket, and then Haynes knocked him out of bounds. Good pass rush by Breland Speaks on that 3rd down play.
So it'll be a 35-yard attempt by Connor Colt, who made 2 field goals in the final 2.5 minutes last week against Auburn. And he continues his solid ways. Coach O back here in Oxford, up a field goal. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. From here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium, Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe with you in Oxford tonight.
I know LSU happy to get on the board first, but that's kind of a win for this Ole Miss defense. Coming into the ball game, they had given up 71% touchdowns in the red zone. To make LSU have a 1st and goal at the 5 and come away with 3, that's a good possession for Ole Miss.
Jalen Jones on the return. Number 2 in the SEC in kickoff return yardage. Comes up short of the 20. Wilkins bottled up and then shakes loose, kept his balance, and still ahead out to the 32-yard line. Jordan Wilkins has been playing some good ball lately.
He sure has, and nobody wrapped him up. Some guys bounced him around. Nobody got arms around him, and Wilkins does what all good backs do, keeps those legs moving.
Wilkins this time was met by John Battle.
You know, it's hard to be one-dimensional offensively in a league like this where they play defense the way they do in the SEC. Last week, Ole Miss offensively ran for 252 yards. By far the best game they had all season running it. Before that, they only had gone over 100 one time. That was the opener against South Alabama when they had 102. So that kind of balance is what they're trying to get a better look with their offense.
2nd and 7. Patterson gets it complete as he's able to get it to Dawson Knox, who has really emerged as a very good playmaker.
Very versatile player because he's big and strong enough to play on the end of the line and block as a tight end, but he can also play like a wideout.
Matt Luke has been excited about his development, the interim head coach who took over this summer after all the troubling news with Hugh Freeze.
The tendency right now for Ole Miss, when that tight end is detached, when he's out, and here he is right here, they're about 90% pass.
Look at the time for Shea Patterson as he goes underneath to Penniman. Just a gain of about 2 yards that time.
See, LSU had that play well defended. The formation suggested pass. They had lots of guys in coverage and made it a very short game. Now, when he's up in here in the core, they're 50-50 runner pass.
Here's Penniman, and once again met by Battle.
Really, I think, and so does Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator at LSU, thinks that's when this Ole Miss offense is at its best. When he's in the core and it can be run or pass, that's when they're the most difficult to defend.
3rd down and 5.
Arden Key, he's their best pass rusher. This is a game that sets up for him. He's playing himself back into his normal shape. He's played well the last couple weeks.
One of the very top NFL prospects coming off the edge.
Last time on 3rd down, they only rushed 3 and dropped 8. And Arden Key dropped into coverage the last 3rd down. I got to guess he's coming this time.
Play clock down to 1. 3rd and 6 for Patterson. With pressure right in his face, he gets it to Dawson Knox. Let's check this spot here. Looks like they're going to mark him maybe a half a yard shy.
But you see the receiving skills of the big tight end. Knox is 6'4", 250 pounds. And he reached out and snatched that ball as he was going to the ground like a wideout. Former quarterback in high school, played at Brentwood Academy in Nashville, Tennessee.
See the effort by Knox. Gary Wunderlich, who didn't play last week, got injured in the road game at Cal, and his hamstring's been bothering him. It's his plant leg. That's the injured leg, but he had a good week of practice. Feels fresh enough to go. This from 31. And that's as reliable as he has been time and time again throughout his outstanding career. We are tied up nearby the Grove. Well, you know that Landshark was first adopted by the Ole Miss defensive unit in football, but everybody has gotten into the act for years now. And a few weeks ago, it was announced that Landshark will replace the bear as the official mascot of the school. They are in the design phase, but the new costume mascot come fall 2018 will be the land shark.
The land shark. They'll still be called the Rebels,
Oh,
but
yeah.
their mascot will be a land shark. Candy green.
Here's Luke Logan kicking away as it is a line drive that bounces into the end zone. Coach O was here 2005 to 07, was 0-8 in SEC play in his final season. Geis nearly tripped up and then spins ahead for 9.5 yards.
Well, already I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Darius Geis. You know, I talked to him on the field before the game. We met with him the last time we had them, and he's got a lot of swagger to him. And I went up to him, I said, are we going to see the real you tonight? He says, where's the fake one? I said, no, I don't mean that. I mean, are we going to see a healthy Darius Geis? He says, yeah, I feel good.
Yeah,
He looks good.
I don't think they liked the last time they saw us. That was that road game at Mississippi State. Geis again going to test the left side, and here he goes. Darius Geis back healthy and revving the engine, taken down after a big gainer as Geis will make it 1st and goal.
It's an unbalanced line, so they have an extra lineman at tight end. They outflanked the Ole Miss defense. Toby Weathersby, the right tackle, lined up as the tight end on the left that side.
And now Geis cuts back and spins his way in for the touchdown. 59-yard run and then a 7-yard dash for 7 more.
Toby Weathersby, who missed the Auburn game, back in the starting lineup. They ran behind him on the long run, and they ran behind him on the touchdown, one side to the other. And Darius Geis off to a great start in this one.
Where's the fake one, he said, huh, Todd? That's the real deal right there. Hasn't been at 100%, but he's feeling pretty good right now. His 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And LSU is up 10-3 here in Oxford. Darius Geis in his last 3 games only totaled 135 yards and a touchdown. Already 98 and a rushing touchdown. Those vintage styled helmets for Ole Miss tonight. Jones is going to take a knee, and we're going to... Wilkins, nice block that he picked up as well. As Jordan Wilkins goes for 9.
The more balance that Ole Miss can have in their offense, the better they're going to be. They had it last week against Vanderbilt. This is a better defense in LSU, but so far, pretty nice balance for Ole Miss.
And a 1st down for Ole Miss. Gain of 2 for Wilkins. Well, Devon Penniman remains in there as the running back for Ole Miss as they start this offensive series. They fake the pitch, coming in hard. Ball is out. As it was Arden Key coming in hard on Shea Patterson, and Ole Miss able to recover, but a loss of 6.
Yeah, Shea's got to get rid of this football. That clock in his head's got to go off. Arden Key goes right around the left tackle, and Shea Patterson holds on that ball too long.
And that's not just any left tackle. That's Greg Little, who was one of the biggest national recruits a couple of years ago, and a guy who's thought of as a NFL prospect. And Arden Key just went right past him, Todd.
Arden Key, when the season started, when he first came back, he was heavy. He has been on a real strict program with the nutritionist at LSU. He's lost a lot of weight in the last 4 weeks, and he looks quicker and better than he did when the season started.
Good old-fashioned SEC rivalry game. Ole Miss and LSU, and Geis, the difference on the scoreboard right now. 10-3 Tigers.
Another third down and long situation for Ole Miss. They're 1 for 4 on third down, but the last two have been 3rd and 11 and now 3rd and 16.
So Jordan Wilkins on the sideline, limped off the field in the first quarter. We start the second quarter here with him facing a 3rd and 16. Pressure right up the middle on Patterson as he's able to get free, and he'll be a little short, but out past midfield for the Rebels, a gain of 14.
The left guard, Javon Patterson, just late picking up the blitzing Devin White. Patterson did a nice job trying to get to the first down marker, but that 16 yards needed, just too much.
As able to trot Will Gleason out onto the field.
Yeah, you're right in this game. You don't want to give LSU a short field. Try to pin them back here and see if your defense can keep them down there.
Gleason's pretty crafty at doing just that. And that's now 16 of his 26 punts this season, resulting in a fair catch. Let's look at this time out to the 11-yard line. Evans with the tackle.
Again, this offense that LSU's running now with Matt Canada, they use a lot of pre-snap shifts and motions. They try to confuse you and try to get you outflanked. They'll have a lot of times when they end up in an unbalanced front, which means a tackle is lined up as a tight end and a tight end is lined up as a tackle. And then they run inside with the back and jet sweep with their wide receivers.
Remember, Canada was the OC at Pitt, and they set plenty of records there. Williams to the outside as he was cut down by Jalen Julius.
We saw Geis run a jet sweep earlier. That was Williams on a jet sweep. That was really well played by Jalen Julius, getting off of a block and making a tackle. Big third down play right here for the Ole Miss defense. They get a stop, they can get a shorter field.
Third and 3, pressure right up the middle, picked up quickly out and into the hands of Geis for a first down for LSU.
Well, again, you see the versatility of Darius Geis. He was going the wrong way. Danny Etling got him lined up in the right spot, the slot to the short side, and then hit him with the first down completion.
Play action now. Etling steps up and then tucks and runs and able to get himself to the 25.
That's the first time on first down that LSU has tried to throw the football. Prior to that, 9 rushing plays on first down, and a good decision again by Etling. It's not there. Don't force a throw down the field, and gain 5 yards by tucking the football.
There's the medical tent. Shea Patterson's in there.
Looking
through
at
his first interception in his last 99 pass attempts.
Looking at his right knee, which is his plant foot. And that's Jordan Ta'amu warming up the backup quarterback.
2nd and 5. Etling again, this time able to connect with his tight end, John David Moore, for a first down.
Run the football with success, as LSU has done tonight. All those little play actions and bootlegs are open because as a defense you have to respect the run, you have to respect the run fake. And Danny Etling with a nice easy throw and catch for the first down.
First down run for Williams. Let's check in with Holly. Ball came out at the end there. And they're going to rule him down at the 39. Holly, take it away.
Well, when Shae Patterson came off the field, the Ole Miss quarterback was pointing to his right knee for the athletic trainers to look at something on the outside of that right knee. They put him in the medical tent. He's sitting up on a table. I could see in through that tent that they're doing some ligament stability tests on that knee. He's kind of laying on his back as they test his knee. So we'll definitely keep you updated on what's happening with Shae Patterson here.
It's kind of odd to see him running after throwing the ball there. There was no contact. He was running fine after he threw the ball, and then all of a sudden was limping. There's Geis on 2nd and 7 as he's able to bounce it to the outside, and Geis will have a first down just short of midfield. And he was down there.
See, if you have a knee injury, you're not going to be able to bounce like this. I mean, watch Darius Geis. He's going to make 2 bounces. Here's one, and here comes another one. Boom. Plant that right foot and turn this into another positive game. Darius Geis, 11 carries, 126 yards now.
11.5 per tonight. First down, receiver stack formation to the top of your screen. And now they run Dillon in jet motion as they hand off to Williams, who finds a seam inside the 30.
Well, we mentioned the problems this Ole Miss defense has had stopping the run. Alabama, 51 carries, 365 yards. Auburn, 51 carries, 326 yards. And even Vanderbilt last week, 188 yards on the ground, average 5 yards per carry. LSU right now 140 here in the first half. Very hard when you can't defend the run any better than that.
Play caller's dream, 2nd and 2. Williams right behind that block of John David Moore, and that'll move the chains. That's the guy they call the crime dog, Wesley McGriff, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss. Tom.
Another unbalanced line look. Wesley McGriff seeing a little bit of everything tonight. It's pretty nice when you can line up your tight end as a tackle in an unbalanced line and run behind him and pick up a first down.
Williams again as he's taken down at the 21-yard line, a gain of 4. Robinson with the tackle. A little bit of tempo here now by Matt Canada, play caller for LSU. 2nd and 6, 8th play of this drive. Gonna loft it up. Sullivan couldn't collect it.
This is a perfect throw by Danny Etling. Right over the outside shoulder, thrown on time into the right spot. Pretty nice play at the end by the corner, getting a hand in there. Was Ken Webster defending that play, because that was a well-thrown ball, but Webster able to rip it out.
3rd and 6. Going into that closed end zone with the extra fans.
Reland Speaks has been dynamic on 3rd down pass rush so far.
In and out of the hands of Gage, would have been a first down.
Ball was thrown a little bit behind Gage, but still a very catchable pass. Russell Gage has been probably their most reliable receiver all year. Ball's a little bit behind, but still one that he's got to come down with. And for the most part this year has come down with.
Colt has made 4 straight field goals now. This a 38-yard attempt made from 35 earlier. And it looks like LSU has solved their place kicking problem of just a few weeks ago. 10-point lead for the Tigers.
Starting quarterback for Ole Miss, Shea Patterson has been taken to the locker room with a right knee injury. I can tell you that as he limped past me, guys, he is very upset by whatever has occurred. In his place, Jordan Ta'amu is getting into the game for the first time. He hasn't thrown a pass all season, just 3 rushing attempts. All of his teammates just came to him on the sideline. They're trying to pump him up. Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator, just came, had a long chat with him, like, go slow. We're going to take this easy. This will be a new experience. Not a single pass attempt yet this season for Jordan.
No, Holly, last week just had those 3 runs for 32 yards. Jordan Ta'amu. So they will be absent of Shea Patterson, who is top 10 nationally in passing touchdowns and total offense. Trailing LSU by 10 is Ole Miss. Jones will take a knee. So here is Jordan Ta'amu from Pearl City, Hawaii, by way of the JUCO ranks, in at quarterback for Ole Miss. And Sweeney has a big hole and a first down and a little more for the Rebels.
So one of the problems here, Joe, but that's a good first down play, is Ta'amu is a dual threat guy. He's a very capable runner, but with the status of Patterson unsure right now, I'm not sure they want to run their quarterback.
3 timeouts remain, a minute to play. He's going to show you that arm and nearly complete to A.J. Brown.
Now, I was at practice on Thursday, and Ta'amu got a lot of reps. I mean, they run their first and second team almost equal reps for most of practice. So he's very well versed in what they want to do offensively. He just has not, that was his first pass attempt in a game this whole season.
Fans got a little excited about what he was as a backup in their spring game, the Grove Bowl, passed for 188 and a touchdown then. But this is a little different. Prime time against LSU, and Sweeney's up for it as it's another first down. Gain of 13. Clock stops with that moving of the chains.
Now, Ole Miss has 3 timeouts, and because they've had 2 successful runs in there at midfield, they may try to score here now.
Ta'amu in for Patterson, gets it complete. First down and more. Van Jefferson. 14-yard completion, his first as a Rebel. Ta'amu, and a timeout will be used here, Todd.
See, I think they were going to be very conservative with their backup quarterback. But after 2 run plays that were conservative plays,
First time out of the half.
kind of a letdown by the LSU defense, Ole Miss now has a different philosophy of what they're going to do here at the end of the half. Now they're going to try to strike. You know, for the first about 29 minutes of this first half, LSU has shut down the Ole Miss running game, and all of a sudden, a boost from Eric Sweeney, and Ole Miss in scoring range.
Ta'amu. This is where he can get to work. Batted and then falls down. He is dangerous with his legs, but he decided to throw it there, and it was deflected by Devin White.
Yeah, probably would have been better off running that one and then getting to the sideline and getting out of bounds to stop the clock. They still have 2 timeouts and 31 seconds left on the clock. A.J. Brown, their leading receiver, working at the bottom here on Tolliver.
Here is a design quarterback run, and look at him go. Jordan Ta'amu, and smartly gets out just inside the 20, leaving 25 seconds in the half.
Good call by Phil Longo, offensive coordinator, playing to the strength of his young quarterback, and a good decision by Ta'amu to get out of bounds and not take an unnecessary hit.
As an Ole Miss player trying to run off the field there late. Number 2 timeouts remain. Looking for a throwback out of the backfield to the end zone. He goes. It was Sweeney who he was trying to find there. As the crowd wanted a flag, but instead it'll be 2nd and 10 with 18 seconds left.
Devin White, the leading tackler, stride for stride with Sweeney, and nice job on that play.
So Shea Patterson dealing with that right knee injury. Jordan Ta'amu took over at his own 25 with 1:17 left. And now the 8th play coming up.
Metcalf is the big receiver, a target in the red zone. Number 14 at the bottom of the screen.
Snap was off and low to the left. Ta'amu gets it and then guns it complete inside the 10. They're going to have to use a timeout here.
Yeah, he should have turned the other way and gotten out of bounds.
And that was Van Jefferson, the sophomore receiver.
The 2nd time out of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And there's no reason for him to turn back inside. The snap is hard and to the left. Nice job by Ta'amu, just fielding the snap, keeping his poise and delivering the football. Boy, how big would this be for Ole Miss with Patterson in the locker room if they could put one in the end zone here with their backup quarterback to end the first half.
Just the thought of the opportunity to come away with points considering the circumstances. To the end zone he goes. And it's incomplete, so there will be only 3 seconds remaining as he was looking for DeMarcus Lodge.
Well, still a chance to come away with points, which is important. Some momentum to take into the locker room. Down 1 score if you can convert here by Wonderlic.
Wonderlic has had an outstanding career. Back from injury, tweaked a hamstring. It's just a 26-yard attempt. And And what a nicely managed final minute 17 by the young man from Pearl City, Hawaii. Jordan Tealolo Teamo Perifanos, his full name, the son of Billy and Luisa, helps them get the field goal. Let's go to the studio to Adnan. College football primetime presented by Hampton by Hilton. LSU leads by 7. Coach O's return to Oxford. Remember they said, hey, what do you remember most about being the head coach? And he said, yeah, I remember the chevron chicken on a stick from the gas station.
Yeah.
Well, looky here, Todd Blackledge, the actual chicken on a stick from the four-corner chevron.
And they don't cheat you on the chicken. I mean, you can hardly see the stick. I mean, that is a lot of chicken.
That was his soundbite that got so much attention earlier this week. These are the stats, as I can use the chicken on a stick to point out the stats. And it's the rushing yards that the chicken on a stick is going to show, as Geis has been something.
Darius Geis has been outstanding. LSU has run the football, but to Ole Miss's credit, even though they have trouble stopping the run, they've been pretty good on third down, and they've been pretty good in the red zone. And that's why they're still in this football game in a one-possession game.
Why do I have a feeling you're going to broadcast better with chicken in your hand? Here's Holly moments ago.
Well, Coach Luke, Shea Patterson just ran past me with a knee brace on. What do you know about your quarterback's injury?
Yeah, we evaluated him at halftime. We're going to give him a shot, see how he does here to start the second half.
If he's not at full strength and can't play well, what does Jordan Ta'amu bring? He really drove you down the field in that last opportunity.
No, he's very athletic. He can do some things with his feet. I think we just got to be smart with him about not letting him sit in the pocket. We just got to do some things with running the ball and play action.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Teamo who brought them down for that field goal, as Patterson, star quarterback, was dealing with that right knee. So LSU to start things off here in the second half. And Etling will pass. And it goes to J.D. Moore, who is upended that time by Hartsfield.
Darius Geis got the key block, too. I mean, we've seen him run. When you talk about a competitor and a fighter, Darius Geis does a little bit of everything. Got the nice cut block that gave a nice clean throwing lane to his quarterback on that play.
Your fingers greasy right now,
Yeah,
Blackledge?
they are. I'm trying to use your jacket, maybe. Or Chaz's shirt. I don't know. One or the other.
2nd and 6. Here's that jet motion. As Chark will reverse, and they will run Geis as he finds the hole and gets to the outside. Here goes Darius Geis. The big night continues.
Now take a look. Darius Geis a little slow getting up at the end of this. It's a counter again. They pull the guard. They lead with the tight end, John David Moore, and then a couple missed tackles. A.J. Moore had a chance to hit him at the line of scrimmage. Didn't wrap up Geis. And 48 yards later, Darius Geis starts the second half the way he played in the first half.
Something about the way Ken Webster took him down that had him limping off quickly to the sideline, as Williams now comes in as the featured back. And he will get inside the 20. So Geis over on the sidelines with 174 yards. Back up on his feet and having a little fight. Yeah. He's got a little fight to him tonight, doesn't he?
He is a competitor. He loves to play. He plays hard. And he just feels good tonight. And it shows. He just has not felt like himself for most of this season.
Remember, he missed the game, the upset loss to Troy. Hasn't been at 100% health until a good week of practice. And here's that overload to the near side.
Weathersby.
And they will run to the short side with Williams, who was upended that time as Zedrick Woods came charging in low.
In LSU, this offense, they're going to shift, they're going to motion, and they're going to mix inside runs with the jet sweep and try to outflank you as a defense. And Ole Miss, even though they've given up some yards, when they've gotten to this part of the field, they've been pretty good, and they've been good on third down.
Bringing in a whole lot of beef with Pettigrew and Carter, extra tight ends, and Williams at 230 in the backfield on 3rd and 2. And he's not going to get it. That was Jalen Jones darting in.
Jalen Jones not only does a good job of getting there, but watch when he gets there, he's going to also maintain leverage. He's not going to let the ball carrier get outside and bounce it. And he gets the tackle as well. That's excellent play by Jones.
So Connor Colt, who came up huge last week against Auburn, had the go-ahead 42-yarder with 2.5 minutes remaining. Looking to go 3 for 3 on his evening here in Oxford. And it is pure. And LSU pushes the lead to 10 to start the second half. Coach O's return. That's good news for Rebels fans. That's Shae Patterson flanking offensive coordinator Phil Longo. As he came out here to get ready for the second half, you see that right knee left in the first half. Tiamu came in the backup and led him to a field goal drive, but going to be hard to keep Shae Patterson out of this rivalry game in prime time.
Oh, the other good thing for Ole Miss, we've got word that Jordan Wilkins is going to try to give it a go here in the second half as well. Two very important parts of this Ole Miss offense.
Campbell's shorter kickoff will be returned by Jones. And Jalen Jones finds a crease all the way out to midfield. Jalen Jones, how about it?
They said he stepped out of bounds, though, Joe. They're waving
him back at the 32. What a return from Jalen Jones as Cameron Gamble, the kickoff specialist, had to take the angle.
I'm sure they'll take a look at it. They said he stepped out. He was trying to tightrope on the sideline. Poor discipline on the coverage by LSU. There's a missed angle by Kerry Vincent, number 15, and then the kicker has to try to get a piece of him. Does he step out? Right there. The right foot. There it is, right there. Good call. Perfect vision. Excellent return and good field position for Ole Miss, but that was a touchdown.
Jones had a 97-yard kickoff return touchdown earlier this year and is number 2 in the conference in kickoff returns.
That's one of those deals. If he could have kept his heel off the ground, his toes were inbounds, but the heel is what stepped down in the white, and that's why it came back.
Patterson to the end zone he goes. Batted away at the last second by Greedy Williams, who says no, no, no.
He's their best cover guy, even though he's young. I mean, Greedy Williams is only a redshirt freshman, but he plays like a senior. He's not fooled by the hesitation. He's stride for stride with Lodge. When Lodge looks for the ball, he makes a play on the ball.
You know, Shae Patterson knows a little something about Greedy Williams, right, Todd?
Yeah.
Right there at Calvary Baptist, where they were high school teammates for a few years in Shreveport.
Won a couple state championships together.
Second and 15. On the ground again with Wilkins. Good hard running. You know, Patterson finished up his prep days at IMG, but started things off in Shreveport, Louisiana, next to that guy.
Yeah. Gotta be cool going at each other here tonight. Both competitors, both play with a little bit of swagger, a lot of swagger. Again, when you play as much man coverage as LSU does, you got to have supreme confidence. And Greedy Williams has it.
3rd and 6. And this time just a gain of 2 by Wilkins, tackled by White.
Tried to go with the counter again. That time good penetration by Lockachar. Got into the backfield and forced that one to come up short.
So here is Wunderlich back out there. 39-yard attempt this time.
Make here and you keep it a 1-possession game. You stay right in striking distance.
Kickers doing their job tonight. And striking distance indeed. Back to a touchdown margin here in Oxford. Well, it is universally accepted as the premier tailgating spot in all of college football. And they always bring their A game at the Grove. Gary Wunderlich is 3 for 3 kicking tonight. 9 points on the board for Ole Miss. Luke Logan will kick away. Edwards-Helaire on the return. That's Geis in motion as Geis will turn the corner, and Geis will get ahead for 11.5 yards.
And this combination of having he and Darrell Williams in the game at the same time has been really effective. Good timing. The line shows like the run is going to the right. They give it back to Geis to the left, and he finds a seam and turns it upfield. A little deception by the offensive line and good timing by Darius Geis.
Williams out of the backfield with a good block out in front from Morrow. 11-yard reception for Darrell Williams.
You know, LSU has not completed a pass to a wide receiver tonight. Every completion has been to a running back or a tight end. Short, easy pass right there for Danny Etling, but effective. Unbalanced line.
It was all about the star wide receiver, DJ Chark. And here is Chark in motion. As Geis will get the call again, and his night is turning into a spectacular evening. Darius Geis over 200 yards rushing tonight.
Counter again. They're going to pull the backside guard and the tight end, and Darius Geis is just going to see it. Watch the vision. He follows the blocks for a minute, and then he cuts inside. And then good blocking downfield also. 33 yards for Darius Geis on that one.
218 on the night for Geis.
Again, Leonard Fournette last year in this game, 284 yards. Geis closing in on that.
Williams, as he spins his way just inside the 20. Speaks was able to find him.
This LSU offensive line has been banged up. They've lost some guys. They're playing without their starting left tackle tonight, KJ Malone, for the second game in a row. Starting a true freshman at left tackle, a true freshman at right guard. Toby Weathersby back at right tackle after missing a week ago. Pushing the pile today.
Williams on the short toss as he will have another LSU first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Tigers. Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, keep your eye on the two safeties for Ole Miss. They've had to be in there for almost every play. Jalen Jones, number 36, Cedric Woods, who just made that tackle. Their key backup and a part-time starter, CJ Moore, was injured in pregame warm-ups, a calf injury, so he's on the sideline. So I see these guys starting to fatigue down the stretch as LSU continues to really run right at them.
That's a good point, Holly. CJ Moore is a guy who rotates in often. 1st and goal. Let's see how they hold up with the short field now. Jet motion, Gage. Can he turn the corner? To the 5-yard line as he was waiting for a block from Foster Morrow.
They're just so much more efficient with their motion and the timing as Gage gets up hobbling at the end of that play. We got to believe this ball's got to go to number 5, right? Darius Geis, he's carried it 14 times tonight. He has not been stopped for 0 or negative yardage one time. 218 yards.
Etling. He's going to tuck, run, dive, and score. Danny Etling with his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Just another good decision. Headsy play by the senior transfer. He's going to roll out here, and there's going to be 2 receivers, but neither one of them are going to be open. They're both covered well by Ole Miss, the 2 tight ends. He makes the right decision, then he gets low underneath the tackler and gets it in the end zone. Not known as a runner, but that was a good, tough run for the touchdown.
And now another well-managed, smart drive where they could lean on the running game. And the Tigers have a little roar to them all of a sudden mid-season in SEC play, don't they? Number 24, LSU on top here in Oxford. 23-9 in tonight's edition of this long-standing rivalry. Jones had a good return earlier. Had a trouble time fielding this one, but still a nice effort by Jalen Jones. Quick pass, A.J. Brown, and a first down for the Rebels. Holly.
Well, you guys talked about that famous Halloween game won by the Tigers back in the day. Well, these helmets that Ole Miss is wearing tonight are a throwback. These are the same model of helmets, or type of helmets, that they wore during their most successful time in school history, 1959 to 1968. They won a share of 3 national titles.
Patterson downfield, but just beyond DeMarcus Lodge.
They've had a couple opportunities for this. Again, you're going to get these chances for one-on-one matchups. This ball a little bit overthrown. Lodge just not able to bring it in. He had one earlier that he should have caught. That one would have been a great catch if he would have been able to snag it.
2nd and 10. Patterson just slings it sideways to Dawson Knox. So the big plays tonight haven't been there for Ole Miss. They've taken those shots.
They've had some opportunities. You know, they just have not connected on it.
3rd and 5. And A.J. Brown a little too high for him.
Yeah, that's not a good throw by Shae Patterson. He's drifting. His body's drifting to the left. He's not setting his feet. And that ball sailed on him.
And here in no man's land, facing a 4th and 5 and trailing 23-9. Offense, of course, will stay on the field.
I think you got to look for the slant to A.J. Brown right here in the 3rd man in the slot. It's a strong receiver. Get him the ball quickly, right about the marker.
4th and 5, trying to stay alive. Caught for a first down to 6'4" Dawson Knox.
They had both guys running inside routes. Brown ran an inside route, and Knox ran a little route. A spin back to the inside, and Patterson hit him for the first down.
Important drive here for Ole Miss. Under 4.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Wilkins waiting and then finding something, and here he goes. Jordan Wilkins. 28-yard touchdown. And 4th and 5 gave them life. And then Jordan Wilkins gave them a thrill. All states, all hands in play.
Counter play again. They're going to pull the backside guard, Patterson. They're going to lead with the tight end. And this some shoddy tackling by LSU as well. Wilkins kind of sits in there, pokes and pecks, tries to find some room, and nobody wraps him up. And he stays with it and bounces it out the backside for another touchdown.
Here's Williams out of the backfield with a lot of green grass ahead of them. Good block from DJ Chark downfield.
Well, the linebackers.
Late flag here.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 38 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Marquise Haynes.
When was it? During the run or after the...
It was a positive play to begin with, and then a costly penalty on Marquise Haynes. Boy, it must have happened at the end of the play, because the play was a good gain after the play. Wow.
Look at that Marchette ball right past midfield, just when Ole Miss had such a swing of momentum. And LSU now setting up shop at the 42. And then there's this guy, Darius Geis, who's had himself such a stellar evening, over 200 yards rushing tonight.
They're just running right at this Ole Miss defense. You know, coming into the game, most of their best runs have come on the jet sweep. They have not run in between the tackles that successfully. But tonight, the inside running game has been powerful for LSU.
Sadiq Charles in motion, the big left tackle, start on the right side, then came back to the left tackle position. As Geis gets the call on 2nd and 5, and add to it. Darius Geis having a huge night in Oxford. 26 more yards.
Well, watch the right guard and the right tackle. 70 and 66 just paving the way. DJ Chark getting a little block downfield, as is Drake Davis, number 14. 16 carries now, 249 yards for Darius Geis.
Remember last year, he set the single game record at 285 yards against A&M, had 252 against Arkansas. There are only 4 SEC players to have 2 games over 250 yards. You want to know their names? Bo and Herschel. And then you got this guy, Geis. As right now, J.D. Moore takes it home.
They just got it all going right now. They fake the jet sweep to Gage, and they go shovel pass. You got to worry about him. You got to worry about him. And then you lose track of the tight end on the shovel pass. Just a nice mixture of offensive weapons and deception by Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, and the LSU offense.
John David Moore on the shovel pass, but this is the guy that set it up. Geis told you pregame. He's feeling it. Boy, is he. 249 yards.
LSU has had 8 offensive possessions. They've scored on 6 of them. 3 and 3. 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals. Only 6 turnovers for this LSU offense, and 4 of them came in that loss to Troy. They've taken care of the football. They've reduced their penalty problem, and they are operating much more efficiently, and their best player is 100% healthy now.
Back to a 14-point lead. Jones from the 3-yard line. Of course. Now Patterson and the Rebels trying to climb out of the hole, and here is Dawson Knox. Boy, has he emerged. 40-yard reception.
This is a perfect throw. The safety, Grant Delpit, went for the deflection and missed. And Dawson Knox was able to turn it into a bigger game. Beautiful throw by Patterson.
And right to the line, the snap again. Patterson couldn't find Brown on the slant.
Shea Patterson is still favoring that right leg. You know, that's his plant leg. Even though he has the brace on, you can see that he's still a little bit tentative with it and not stepping into some of the throws. The throw before that was an excellent throw, but you can tell it's still bugging him a little bit.
Second down throw. That was off the mark as he was looking Lodge's way.
It's a big part of their offense. They fake that run. It's a RPO. The line is blocking run. Marcus Lodge looked like he wasn't sure the ball was coming to him. He kind of ducked instead of putting his hands up. LSU
looks over to Phil Longo here on 3rd and 10.
LSU's done a really good job on A.J. Brown, the leading receiver in the SEC coming into tonight.
Pick up the pressure. It's intercepted by John Battle. Tip ball. Battle with a good return down the sideline as they will mark him down. And there's a flag down at the 23.
See, I think this is Shea Patterson not trusting his right knee and not stepping into the throw. The ball sailed on him high. It went off the hands of his receiver. And John Battle was there to collect it for the interception. Well, here's a look at the interception. Here's Lodge. He's going to run a little slant route, and he's open right here. But the ball's going to sail high. Goes off his fingers. John Battle playing deep safety right there to collect it. Shea Patterson, normally a very accurate thrower, but he doesn't look like he trusts that knee right now on a throw like that.
Not the typical stat line for a Shea Patterson game. 100 yards, 2 interceptions, 9 of 21, no touchdown passes. He's trying to gut it out on that hurt leg. And back to Geis. And with that, over 250 yards rushing. Holly.
Well, LSU's new defensive coordinator the last 2 seasons, Dave Aranda, has been very impressive to us. And I just witnessed a moment that I really enjoyed. You know, Devin White, who's such a great player, great linebacker for this LSU team, gets called for that personal foul. And Aranda, instead of yelling at him, getting his face or anything, he's like, what happened? Devin stood up, explained what happened, showed him what he did for the personal foul. He's like, all right, we're good. Very calm, very student-like over here. I just really enjoyed his demeanor interacting with these young men.
Went to Cal Lutheran, was a philosophy major. Has a very different approach to coaching football.
2nd and 5. And Geis gets free one more time. He could be playing a 4th quarter with history on the line if this total keeps heading this way. He's at 268, the SEC single game record. 2 players are tied at 321, including Darren McFadden most recently.
Boy, credit this LSU offensive line too. They are really pushing the pipe. That time a great double team by Ed Orgeron, the guard, and Will Clapp, the center. Big hole for Darius Geis.
And now Williams searching for something as he gets 3 yards on that play. Gates with the tackle.
Should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. LSU is going to try to grind this thing out now with this running game. Up to 324 yards rushing. Right in line with what Alabama and Auburn did to this Ole Miss defense with their power running of the football.
End of 3. Geis is averaging 14.9 yards per rush. He's at 268. And his Tigers have a 2-touchdown lead here at Oxford. Joe Tessitore, Tom Blackledge, Holly Rowe and the K crew with you here as number 24 LSU is up 2 touchdowns on Ole Miss to start this 4th quarter. The home team has won the last 5 games in this series, but LSU is running the ball with ease tonight. Here's the guy that's been unbelievable in college football tonight. Geis for 2 more to his total. 599 yards, a Texas high school football player last night. That final score was 63 to 50. Yep. He had 357 in the first half. Matt Gaddick, 49 carries to get it. That's what's so impressive about Geis tonight. 20 carries, averaging 13.7 to arrive at 273. Etling just floating it to Foster Morrow. And look at the big guy go. Run, Foster, run. Ha ha. Tigers are roaring in Oxford, aren't they? The big guy out of Jesuit High down in New Orleans.
Ole Miss was completely selling out for the run on that 3rd down play. There was nobody left in the secondary. All Danny Etling had to do was get the football to Morrow.
A lot of purple and gold going to be partying in the square. Etling's having himself a really nice balanced night. And LSU looks so different. This is not the team that we saw in Starkville. They're stumbling and fumbling against Troy. This is a whole different kind of LSU team. Foster Morrow got a lot of family and friends back in Montgomery, Alabama as well who are cheering this on. Big time tonight. Annie Etling helping out Coach O's return to Oxford. 2 touchdown passes on the night for the Tigers quarterback.
It's an amazing turnaround for this LSU team after we saw them against Mississippi State, after the heartbreaking, devastating loss at home to Troy. What a turnaround.
And of course, last week, the big comeback against Auburn as Jones chooses to take this out. And he picks up a block on the edge. And it was a good decision by Jalen Jones. Let's go to the...
Last year, Leonard Fournette dominated the game with 284, and Geis is doing it this year.
Great effort on the ball, coming away with it somehow was Tolliver. That is an incredible interception. Kevin Tolliver took it away. Patterson shaking his head in disbelief. He thought Metcalf had it. Tolliver ended up with it.
Well, Tolliver is the biggest cornerback that LSU has at 6'3", 204 pounds. Working against the biggest receiver. Metcalf has this, and Tolliver just took it away. Did he get a foot in bounds, though? That's the question. Metcalf had it. Tolliver took it. What a play by Kevin Tolliver.
Ripping it out of Metcalf's arms.
Looks like he had the right foot down when he had the football as well.
It's a heck of an athletic play. Good, well officiated too.
Sure was. Geis with just a yard that time as Speaks was able to make the tackle. Yeah, they are flying high, aren't they? It's a different team.
What a difference
the roller coaster ride of the
Darius
season.
Geis makes too. I mean, you know, he is a difference maker, and then when he's 100%, they are a different football team on the offensive side.
It makes you wonder what happened prior to that game at Florida, Holly.
Well, you know, the team MVP from last season, Duke Riley, who's currently a linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, he came to practice and he was there for a few hours and he was quiet and watching and observing the team. And at the end of practice for 10 minutes, just he and the group, he got together, and what he said has impacted this team tremendously. I reached out to Duke this week, and his response was, to be honest, I want what was said to stay between me and the team. He has so much love for everyone in that building. What I said, I want to just be between the people who heard it. But the players have said what he said is they weren't doing things right. More in a moment.
And Williams shakes free, and once again LSU running with ease. Holly?
And some of those things were how they were going about their daily business, what they were doing at meals, how they were interacting with each other, how they were talking to each other. This is a very different team, and Ed Orgeron told us, I really credit Duke Riley, how he talked to the team and what he said got these kids' attention. He was their MVP.
Connor Colt has had a good evening as well. This will be a 47-yard attempt. It was only a few weeks ago that Coach O was complaining, hey, we don't have a place kicker. We're going to have to recruit one.
He said 42 was probably his range.
Well, guess what? They got themselves a place kicker.
Yes, they do.
Connor Colt. Every little bit helps. Connor Colt. The 50-plus yard runs. And Geis, of course, with 276 tonight. Love is tracking second right now in our Heismanology polling. For those top three, Barkley, Love, and Mayfield are sensational. Here is Jones, another good return from Jalen Jones. Tiamu back in the game, the backup quarterback, as Patterson has been dealing with that injury all night long. Here's DeMarcus Lodge shaking free.
You know, when you look at and talk about those three guys, Joe, Saquon Barkley is far behind Bryce Love in terms of rushing yards per game, but his versatility this season as a returner and, as we just saw, a receiver catching a big touchdown pass, making big plays in big moments. Both Mayfield and Saquon did that today.
Complete here to Brown. I'll say something else. You just know when you watch a Heisman campaign, that it factor, that magical little something when everything is coming together for a certain player. Barkley has that. He has that, Todd.
And you know, Darius Geis coming into this season, he was in that conversation along with Saquon Barkley and Bryce Love, but the injury has not allowed him to play until tonight the way he was capable of.
A.J. Brown leads the SEC, is fourth nationally in receiving yards with the catch.
Nice throw that time by Ta'amu.
You know what I love about the way that the race is shaping up is you got the big games for all the candidates, right? You got one tonight happening with Penn State, and you got more to come for the other two guys. Ta'amu couldn't shake free that time of Lockature.
Lockature has been just steady for this LSU defense. Wearing that special number 18. They've got two of them, one on offense, one on defense this year.
There is Penniman, just a gain of 2.
LSU trying to maintain this streak of shutouts in the fourth quarter. Held Florida scoreless, held Auburn scoreless, and trying to do the same thing here to Ole Miss. Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator.
Two very strong coordinators that Coach O went out and secured to his staff. You got to think about how much this means also to Ed Orgeron. His 3 years at Ole Miss were an abject failure, fired after going 10-25, 3-21 in SEC play, and he's returned as a much more mature and fully evolved head coach. And he said, listen, as Sanders tries to get the first down and does, and we talked to him about it, he says, listen, I expected everybody to coach the way I coach. A little overly intense.
And he was a defensive line coach. Right. That's how he wanted everybody to coach. And the other thing he's learned is how to delegate. And you can see that in how he's allowed his coordinators to do their job.
Ta'amu, as we get extended look of Jordan Ta'amu, the junior JUCO transfer from Pearl City, Hawaii.
He's a nice looking athlete now. I mean, he's a good dual threat guy. Looks good throwing the football too.
Ole Miss trying to finish up strong here, and Penniman will score the touchdown. 1:51 to play. Solid backup to Wilkins this year. Sophomore from Houston, Texas.
Penniman, the most physical of their running backs at 240 pounds. Normally their goal line running back, and that time gets it into the end zone. Ole Miss going to go for 2, and then I'm assuming we'll go for the onside kick as well.
Trying to make this 16-point game. Max out the 2-possession range as they shift both tight ends. Ta'amu. Caught and scored. Dawson Knox the 2-point conversion, so that gets it to 16.
Oh, what a nice play by Ta'amu. He just kind of flicked that thing. He bought some time as he was rolling to his right and just kind of flicked it.
I think he's got some nice physical gifts, Todd.
He certainly does.
The ability to run, showed us a good arm. Good-looking athlete backing up Shea Patterson. That's what they play for. The Magnolia Bowl trophy. They've been playing for the trophy since 2008. They've been playing the rivalry series since 1894, but now they got the hardware to hand out in the past decade. And that guy is a big reason why LSU is closing in on it. So here comes the onside kick attempt. Look for the double bounce. Never got it. And into the hands of Chark. Hand's team includes the best receiver, of course, as he secures it.
You know, as we see LSU now taking a knee, we talked about Darius Geis, this running game, 393 yards rushing, the efficient play and decision-making of Danny Etling. But for the 5th game this season, LSU did not turn the football over either. You're going to win a lot of football games when you take care of it that way.
And when you have that guy with the big purple 5, Coach O's return to Oxford is an impressive win. 6-2 now overall. Know all about the downfalls at Mississippi State and against Troy. But how about the last 3 weeks of tearing through Florida, the comeback against Auburn, and then running all over the Rebels. 2 weeks from right now at #1 Alabama. Magnolia Bowl trophy is LSU's. Colorado, Washington State will be coming up on ESPN. But now time to send it back to Adnan Virk in the studio. Gentlemen, take it away.